up, everybody? It's Aaron here with the amazing Roberts, and we are back for Talking Geek. This is our news portion, as we are doing a little bit different this year. And we'll also have some fun, some jokes here too, and you know, be dumb and tell them how Starship Troopers is the best movie out there.
That is being dumb. You are correct.
I don't know how many times I've said it this week already. So
too many times, and you've been wrong every time.
No. It has been in Firefly. That is a
just
true
because
comment.
It's been in Firefly doesn't mean it's good.
Shut up. So guys, if you are listening to our podcast here, definitely go check out our YouTube channel, youtube.com/officialGYGO. We have segments throughout the whole week there.
Oh, yeah.
So we're breaking everything up. We're just giving you the news to have fun with it, to joke with it, talk about it with you, and kind of catch you up on everything.
Yeah.
And throughout the week, though, we do have other segments on our YouTube channel you can go check out.
We do.
And hopefully enjoy those little bite-sized type fun segments and fun little conversations we have throughout the week. But starting off 2021 has been fun, to say the least, for everyone here.
We live in America. It's been fun.
It's been fun. It's been twisted tea type fun.
Hello.
Oh my God, I'm on a roll today. I feel like I'm not really.
What kind of roll? Is it like a croissant?
Croissant? Is that really a roll? I don't know if I could call a croissant a roll.
I don't know.
I mean, you roll it up, but then it's like not in a good, like I can't roll it down a hill afterwards once it's baked. Mm-hmm. Like it's just going to and then be done.
Maybe like a cinnamon roll.
Ooh, a cinnamon roll would roll.
If you had it on the right.
Yeah.
You know, like, if you're trying to roll it this way.
Well, it didn't roll, guys. You can't roll cinnamon.
It's also very sticky. So
yeah, it's going to be covered in whatever the hell you rolled it in after that. It's like, what was it again?
This has been Roll Talk.
If you want to learn more about baking, please stay tuned.
Yeah, just go watch the Great British Baking Show.
My mom watches that all the time.
I do too. It's super fun.
What?
It's an interesting show. I love it.
That guy is also from IT Crowd in that one.
Yes.
I was like...
Yes.
I was... I forgot what I was doing, so random change. See, we're going to just talk random real quick. I was in my room. I work from home, and I heard that show playing, and I heard his voice, and I was like, why is my mom watching I was like, why is she watching the IT Crowd? So I walk over, and I'm like, hey, why are you watching? And I look, it's the British Baking Show. I was like, that's Bubba. I didn't know his name. I was like, that's the guy from the IT Crowd. She's like, what are you talking about? So I showed her the first episode he comes out in. Yeah. She loves IT Crowd after that.
It's a fantastic show.
It is. And she loves British humor. She loves all that stuff. So it's like, that's funny. Yeah. But yeah, that was my first introduction to him on that show. Was like, why is my mom watching IT Crowd? Like, I wouldn't expect that from her. Let me go see. And yeah, it was a whole funny thing.
There you go.
So enough randomness.
Yeah.
We are here to tell you news.
Get our take on it.
Yeah, give you our opinions, our 2 cents, catch you up on everything that's going on that's geeky in the world.
Yeah.
What do you want
to hit on first? You want to like? There's several Marvel stories. Do you want to get into that first?
Yeah, let's do one of the Marvel ones.
Okay.
Because I didn't mean to hit that. The filming. You want to do that one? The Thor.
Yeah. So I mean,
Thor: Love and Thunder.
Thor: Love and Thunder, which we know.
I don't have a sound.
There are previously confirmed was Chris Pratt for the show, and so or for the movie, but we actually got it looks like confirmation that many of the other Guardians are also going to be there. Chris Pratt, Dave Bautista, who plays Drax, Karen Gillan, who plays Nebula, and there was also a report of the actor Sean Gunn, who is usually the stand-in for Rocket, voiced by Bradley Cooper. So he was also reported to have been on set, getting ready to film. I think they're filming the movie in Australia. So I think they're all arriving there in Australia, probably going to quarantine for a little bit, and then actually going to filming. And then obviously Groot is an entirely CGI character, so there wouldn't necessarily be an actor on set for Groot. So the only actor / actress that is part of the Guardians that hasn't been reported to be there is Zoe Saldana, which we know is Gamora, and at the end of Endgame, Gamora wasn't with the Guardians. So we don't know exactly how the Guardians are going to play into this story. We don't know, if this is building off of Endgame. I think there were reports that this is supposed to actually take place after Guardians 3. which that would be a little bit of a question of if the events of this movie are taking place after Guardians 3, where is Gamora? Because I think a lot of us are expecting that maybe by the end of Guardians 3 she'll actually be reunited. Yeah. But maybe not. And maybe this is going to be before Guardians 3, in which case they're maybe still searching for Gamora. We don't know.
Yeah. And there may be rewrites because with Guardians 3, for a while, we lost James Gunn.
Correct.
He was kicked out for almost months, right? Before they said that they'll bring him back. Because I know Batista said if they don't bring him back, he wasn't going to come back. I don't know if any of the other actors backed him up like that. I just know Batista was the biggest voiced one of it all.
Yeah.
And Disney has brought him back.
Yep.
He is going to be directing, and I think he wrote the script too for it, right?
Yep.
So who knows? Maybe because of all the delays and they were still pushing forward with Thor: Love and Thunder, maybe they're going to have to do rewrites on Guardians 3.
Yeah, I mean, we know at the end of Endgame, Thor was going off with the Guardians, and they even made the comment as Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah. Which works either way because, you could tell Thor died first and then just flip over until Guardians 3, depending what you're writing.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know. Maybe this will just be for like the introduction. They'll be together and then they'll get split up and we'll follow Thor. And then maybe Guardians 3 is picking up where this one left off and we're following that team. We don't really know. But I think it's cool. I mean, I love the Guardians and I love their humor. And so I enjoyed the especially kind of the back and forth between Star-Lord and Thor, I thought was really great.
Yeah.
And so getting some more of that in Thor: Love and Thunder, I'm definitely on board.
Because, they're both the captain.
Yeah. And I mean, Thor and Rocket's relationship, especially in Infinity War, was really great. And so
Thor fits in more perfect. Of that. Yeah. He really does. You know who else I didn't think about? We don't have Mantis.
Pom Clementif, she was also confirmed.
Was she confirmed? Okay, yeah. I was trying to skim it. I didn't see her name.
Yeah, she wasn't in this particular release. I don't know that she's necessarily in Australia already, but she was confirmed for the movie.
Oh, okay. So she's going to be there. So maybe her scenes weren't ready yet or something.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Which would make sense. She doesn't need to be there then if you're not ready. Yeah, I'm excited.
She's arriving on a later flight. Who knows?
Maybe. Who knows? She just came in incognito. No one noticed. She's like, I don't want to be seen. I am curious where they're going to go with it.
Yeah.
I mean, Love and Thunder makes me want to, go with a relationship kind of thing because of that. But so that's why I want to hope that Guardian stays around throughout the whole movie because, Gamora isn't the Gamora we know.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
I don't think this is going to be a Gamora story. I mean, that's what Guardians 3 is for.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of elements that we're going to have to hit on. I mean, we know that Jane Foster is going to show up and assuming at one point she's going to become Thor.
Yeah.
We also know that Valkyrie is returning in this movie.
I like Valkyrie.
And so maybe they'll explore something with that character. I mean, she's the new king of Asgard. And so I think the love part might be her finding her love.
It'd be nice to see what she does.
Be interesting to see.
I'm curious. I've never been... not because she's a woman, but I've never been a fan of Jane Foster wielding Thor's power. In the comics, I didn't like it. I'm just not a fan, and I don't think I have enough invested in this character throughout the movies to say, oh yeah, I want to see Jane Foster hold a hammer.
Yeah.
Especially if the actress was like, I'm done. I don't want to do this crud anymore. Yeah. And now, here's enough money, and here's your own starring role, and you'll come back now. Okay, well, yeah.
Yeah, Natalie Portman, I think in the first Thor movie, I thought, she was really good, and I thought that they had really great chemistry. Yeah. The Dark World, it was really kind of like,
exactly.
She didn't. It didn't seem like she wanted to be there, and then she didn't show up in Ragnarok at all. They are bringing her back. I have faith because she's a really good actress, and so I think Marvel has done a really great job of not forcing actors to come back if they don't want to.
Not like Daniel Craig.
Well, I'm thinking like someone like Hugo Weaving as Red Skull. Like, he had said very clearly he wasn't really interested in returning. And so they brought the character of Red Skull back, but they did not bring Hugo Weaving back. And so I don't think that... I think that Natalie Portman is invested in this story. I hope she is this time. I think that, Taika Waititi is an extremely talented writer and director. He did Thor Ragnarok. And so he's doing this one. And I think that whatever story they pitched to Natalie Portman, she was really excited for. And that's why she's coming back. And when she's excited and invested, I think she is a really talented actress.
Yeah.
And so I think that she's going to bring it. I think the story looks super amazing, and I'm really looking forward to Thor: Love and Thunder.
I'm excited. We'll see where it goes. Like I said, I'm just never been a big fan of her wielding the hammer, so we'll see.
Give it a chance.
We'll see. Exactly. So I want to talk about Moon Knight.
Okay.
Because we've gotten a little bit more. It's slowly.
Yep.
We're getting there. And I love Moon Knight. Moon Knight is essentially a vigilante who kind of like, it's almost Marvel's answer to Batman. I will say it that way. Just a lot more psychotic. He sees this god thing that he worships, I should say.
Ancient Egyptian deity.
Yes.
Yep.
But still billionaire, playboy, philanthropist, just like Batman.
Like movie Batman, willing to kill.
Willing to kill day and night.
Comic Batman, not so much.
Yeah.
Movie Batman.
I'll kill all day. I got guns all over the place.
Yeah, I've got machine guns on my Batmobile.
But they don't kill. They're just asleep.
No, they're
sleeping.
They're sleeping permanently.
I got you with the Oswald thing with that. So Marvel's Moon Knight series lands indie horror director Justin Benson and Aaron Moorehead. I'm going to go with Moorehead, but I can say Aaron. So we're going to go with that. His name is Aaron only.
Yep.
Aaron. So I don't know much about these guys. I love horror films, but I don't know. I'm trying to look up what horror films they did.
I don't really know much about them either. But I think it's just exciting to be getting more news. There was also confirmation that Oscar Isaac is playing Moon Knight.
And he was from Han Solo, right? Or no,
Oscar Isaac is Poe in Star Wars. He's the X-Wing pilot.
I was close. Something Star Wars. And he flies a plane, so I'm good.
He's been in a lot of stuff, and he's a very talented actor.
Yes, he's a good actor.
I'm looking forward to seeing Mark Spector, Moon Knight, showing up. And so that we're moving forward with this show, and getting more and more. It's exciting. I'm looking forward to Moon Knight for sure.
And I'm excited because the fact is they're horror directors. So that means they're probably going to stay on a darker route with Moon Knight, which is what Moon Knight needs. Yeah. He needs that darker route. I mean, I think we've commented before about one of the panels with him and Dracula. Where's my money at?
You big
language
nerd.
It's like
he literally just calls Dracula a big freaking nerd.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful.
I love it because I'm like,
beautiful.
That's a horror thing. Because I mean, yeah, it's horror, but it's comedy.
My money?
Yeah. Where my money at? And that's a Moon Knight thing. Like he messes with Frank. They have some altercations a couple of times too. Both of them know the other one's psychotic. So it's like, they have some fun interactions, which again, I'd like to see Frank. I would love to see Frank come out because, Moon Knight does kill too. So would Frank see him in, show universe? Would Frank see him as a villain or as a hero? Because he murders. And if he murders one innocent person, Frank is going to see him as evil. Even if it was an accident, Frank's going to see him as evil.
We'll see.
So I would like to see some interaction with them.
Yeah.
They're doubling down on their shows. So hopefully Frank, John Berthenol, I can't remember the Daredevil guy's name. Charlie Cox. Hopefully some of them start coming back. I want them back.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see where they go. I'm excited. Let me know I want to know what else direction do you want to see Moon Knight. I think horror is a good way to go with him though.
Yeah.
So we'll see. What other?
Well, so sticking in Marvel, I think like we just need to hit the elephant in the room, which is WandaVision.
Oh, okay, not that elephant.
So premiering
Wakanda
just coming up this Friday is WandaVision with Elizabeth Olsen and Paul Bettany reprising their roles as Wanda Maximoff and the Vision. We've gotten some more news about this. So Friday we're actually going to get 2 episodes.
Ooh.
And then they're going to premiere week to week. So I think that the expectation is that it's going to be a total of 9 episodes. I know that Paul Bettany was giving an interview where he talked about how it kind of starts off as a little bit more of like a sitcom where each episode is maybe, hitting different eras and things like that, which is what we expected. But then eventually it kind of morphs into more of the typical MCU action movie. So we don't know exactly how long the episodes are going to be, but I think that we're expecting about 9. I think that mostly they're going to be around half-hour episodes is what I'm expecting.
Which makes sense, yeah. That's what Mandalorian was roughly, wasn't
it? And then we might get a few that are a little bit longer, a few that are a little bit shorter. But I think that this is going to come out to somewhere around 4 to 5 hours of WandaVision, which is going to be, a little bit, obviously longer than any singular movie in the MCU, but, not necessarily 9 hours of content. I don't think that's what we're going to get.
No, that's a little too much, I think, especially if you're going to go sitcoms. Sitcoms are usually 30 minutes anyway. Yeah. So if he's saying it's going more sitcom style, now maybe, like you said, the first few will be 30, and then they'll start trickling into like 40, 45-ish.
Yeah,
maybe.
We'll see.
I'm excited for it now.
I'm super excited. This show looks insane.
They did release Legends, which are about 7 minutes each, and it was Wanda and Vision separately.
Yeah, Marvel's new show, and I put that in quotation marks because it was Marvel Studios Legends, which is truly, and they did say that they were going to do this kind of before each show, and this is kind of giving us a recap of each character's journey preparing for WandaVision. So yeah, I think there were about 7 to 10 minutes, and it really wasn't. It's not any new footage.
No,
it's
not at
things
all.
that we've seen in the previous MCU, but it's edited in a way to kind of give you a through line of what a character has been through, what their journey has been.
What their story is. And I think...
I actually, so I watched them.
Same.
And I thought it was cool. I thought the way that it was edited, it did kind of give you a little bit of, okay, this is who Wanda is. This is what she's gone through. This is what she's experienced. Same with Vision. I think this is going to be really valuable for people that aren't maybe as into the MCU as someone like you or me.
Yeah.
I've seen, all these movies multiple times. We've done reviews of all the movies. I didn't need this to know where Wanda and Vision were. But I think someone that maybe has only seen the movies once, or maybe hasn't even seen all of them, these are going to be really good to kind of prepare you for WandaVision.
Exactly. I think you're right. These are perfect bite size because I believe you're right. Yeah. I know Wanda's was like 7 something, and I think Vision was about that long. I think these are nice little bite size things for you. Like you said, if you haven't watched, even if you haven't watched, because it's been over a year now since Endgame.
Yeah.
If you haven't watched anything since then. This is a perfect recap. I think Vision's was good, but for some reason, maybe with more content, I think Wanda's a little bit better. But she's been around a little bit in more movies, I think, than Vision hasn't
Same.
she? Really?
They were both introduced in Age of Ultron.
Oh.
And then they were in Age of Ultron. They were in Civil War. They were in Infinity War and Endgame. I think they've both been in 4 movies total.
Okay. That makes sense then. But I don't know. Something about Wanda's hit me better. Maybe I like the character a little bit more, maybe even.
I think she's been through a more emotional journey. Like
That's true.
Vision hasn't necessarily lost anyone, right? Whereas Wanda has pretty much lost everyone.
Yeah. Oh man, the Quicksilver was seen again. I was like, God dang it! Stop showing this.
Yeah. Which I really hope that we get Quicksilver back in this show. Too. Like we're bringing Vision back from the dead in this show. So is that going to be something where Quicksilver makes an appearance too? Like I really hope we get him.
I hope he does come back. I think he was a very good Quicksilver. And with Marvel now owning the X-Men name, they can easily just throw him in there whenever they want.
Yep.
And again, Quicksilver is a speedster, so wibbly wobbly timey wimey stuff, he can travel through time too.
Yeah, I don't know that they're going to bring him back permanently, but we know that this story is kind of delving into Wanda's mind and like what she's seeing different realities or whatever.
She's fractured,
and so she's bringing back Vision in some way. And so as we're delving into her pain and her loss and the things, I think it was. There's a reason they focused on that Quicksilver stuff in her episode.
Yes.
I think we are going to get Quicksilver. I really hope so, but I think we are going to get that aspect because I think she's going to have to confront all the things that she's lost.
That was the first time we saw her lost somebody besides her parents, which she talked about off screen, Pietro talked about it off screen.
Yep. She's lost her parents. She's lost her brother. She's now lost the man that she loved. And I, like that's a great scene in Endgame, of course, where you took everything from me.
That again.
I don't know
who you are.
You will.
And that's one of my favorite lines in that because it's like he really does have no clue who you are.
That version of Thanos doesn't know what he did, and so it was cool. I really enjoyed the recap. Again, I didn't necessarily get as much out of it as someone who maybe isn't as steeped in the MCU. But I thought it was cool, and I'm really looking forward to WandaVision. I think this is going to be bonkers. Some early reviews have come in and said that, this is different than anything the MCU has done before, and it's really good. And that is exciting to me because I want something new.
And, and I think we've talked about it. We're going to talk about it later. Comfort from another show, how you were just not happy with it, and here's Marvel breaking that comfort, like let's see what we can push, let's see what boundaries we can go with. And Marvel's been known for doing that. We had Guardians of the Galaxy, which people thought was going to flop.
Yep.
We've had what was the other one that people thought was going to be the end?
Ant-Man.
Ant-Man, that was the other one.
Yeah, people have kind of all along there's been doubt from I mean, even the first Iron Man, people were like, really, Iron Man?
Yeah.
That's like that's the superhero you're going with is Iron Man? Well, yeah.
And Jon Favreau was like, hold my beer. Let me show you why we're doing Iron Man.
Iron Man. And we got a Hulk movie, and then we got Thor and Captain America. Yes. And of course we built to the Avengers. But, all the time that was happening, it wasn't necessarily that, that people, nobody expected it to become the MCU. Nobody expected that we'd be, making 10 years later, we'd make Endgame and it would gross $3 billion. That was
a ridiculous amount of money.
Nobody thought that would happen.
Yeah.
But that's where we are. And yeah, we're getting WandaVision, and
I'm excited. I'm ready for Friday.
Yeah, I'm ready too.
Ready.
Ooh, two episodes too. Which I'm expecting means we'll get about an hour. About an hour. I think they'll be
set an hour aside
about
your day.
30-minute. Yeah. So.
Okay. Woo. So. Moving on to the next one. I think that's all the Marvel news.
One more.
Who is
one more? Because,
the Chadwick Boseman.
No. What Chadwick Boseman?
I didn't know if we talked about last time. The recording.
Oh, no. We did talk about that in our pre-Christmas show. Or no, we didn't talk about it because we didn't do news.
No, we didn't do news.
Which is that we know that Chadwick Boseman is appearing in multiple episodes of What If.
I know.
But that's not the big news. The other one is that the executive producer of Loki, his name is Michael Waldron, who he also wrote a lot of Loki. There was a report from Deadline, and it had two different things in it. Okay. As number one, we know that Kevin Feige is getting ready to do a Star Wars movie. So Kevin Feige is the architect of the MCU, and this guy was tapped to write that Kevin Feige Star Wars movie. Mm-hmm. But also in that same report was reported that Loki is probably getting a season 2. So
season 1 hasn't even dropped yet.
Yeah, it's not coming out till May. But we know that a lot of these series that have been announced by Marvel, some of them have been announced as kind of a singular run, which is like kind of what we're expecting with WandaVision.
Yeah,
that we're probably
because that's going to lead into it's
going to lead into Multiverse of Madness or other things. But it seems like Loki is going to possibly be a longer running series where we'll get multiple seasons of it rather than just like a mini series, which is what it feels like WandaVision is. I'm. As much as I don't know anything about Loki other than the footage we saw, that footage made me go, I love this. Yes. Tom Hiddleston as Loki seems like he's killing it once again. I loved Owen Wilson in that trailer. I
forgot about him.
It was a really fun trailer. And so the fact that not only do they seem like obviously they're very happy with their product, happy enough that they're going, we're going to give this a season 2. Like that just is making me even more excited for season 1 of Loki, where I'm like, woo, let's do it.
I agree on that one.
So that's cool.
And I'm a little torn. It's not even torn in a bad way. It's a good way. Because like I love Loki. I love him. But I also know James Bond's coming to Daniel Craig's leaving. He's done. And I would have loved to see Tom Hiddleston as James Bond. But if he's going to keep if he's doing a TV series, he might not be able to have time.
Nah, there's the way shooting schedules go and everything. Like they'll be able to do that.
I just want him to be. I want Tom Hiddleston to be Bond
because they shoot these like movies. So it's like they'll shoot an entire season in maybe 2 months or something, and then he can
go do James Bond after.
Yeah, his James Bond will take 2 or 3 months.
I'm not saying he is James Bond. I would just love to see Tom Hiddleston as James Bond.
Tom Hiddleston's great, and I think he would make a great James Bond. I'm hoping, actually. And this has been thrown out for years, and people, now think he might be too old. I don't think so. Idris Elba is my number one choice. Like, I think he would be fantastic as James Bond. He's got like that suave swagger down. He's, obviously a very good looking man, but he also has done plenty of action stuff, and so I think Idris Elba would be a great choice.
That would be a good one. I mean, I like you said, I don't know. Loki's probably one of the ones I know the least about, but from comic books, I didn't read a lot of Thor. But I mean, again, you're just going off the MCU. Tom Hiddleston's always knocking it out of the park
the God of Mischief.
Yeah, they hit it out of the park every time with him. Yep, he's never really been. I don't think he's ever had a bad scene. Really,
no, I love him in all 3 Thor movies. I love his journey where he's kind of gone from, in the first Thor movie, he really, was kind of like just had daddy issues and wanted to prove to his dad that he could do those things, and then he was kind of influenced by the the Mind Stone a little bit.
I don't know
if
how I feel about that one, but
and,
I get what
turned a little bit like, this, I'm going to take over the Earth and be the ruler of Earth, which I liked. I thought he was a good villain for the Avengers. And then, of course, in, the next Thor movies, he's always looking out for himself. But he also has that feeling of he wants to be loved by people. And so like sometimes he'll make choices to help people because he wants them to love him. Like in Thor Ragnarok, when he shows up to Asgard, he's like, I am here to save you.
Oh my God, that was hilarious.
Because he wants their love. He wants them. And so I love that journey, but I think this show is going to be really interesting because obviously this is a Loki fresh off of his defeat at the hands of the Avengers, who maybe hasn't learned some of those lessons. His mom hasn't died. He hasn't gotten close to Thor in that kind of brotherly way quite yet. That we see develop in Dark World and Ragnarok. And so, this is a different Loki than we've gotten in Dark World and Ragnarok. And so I'm really excited to have, Tom Hiddleston kind of, be that mischievous.
He'll have more fun with it.
Loki once again. I'm looking forward to that.
I'm excited for it. In the end, I'm excited for what Loki can be. Like you said, the trailer knocked it out of the park. Yeah. I'm sorry, Owen Wilson just rambling, and he's like, I don't want to talk. Oh, we both know that's wrong. Yeah. I mean, I'm curious what he's going to be doing. I'm curious, what are we taking? Because obviously they're keeping him away from the heroes. He doesn't seem to be involved with them in the trailer at all. I
mean, we don't know. And at what point is the Thor of this timeline going to, is he knows that Loki got away, so is he going to be on the hunt for him? Like, we don't know how all this is going to work out. Is Chris Hemsworth going to appear in Loki? We don't know.
Exactly.
Maybe Lady Sif shows up. We haven't seen her since Thor: The Dark World. And we do know that she's coming back in Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
So it'd be really, I think there's a lot of opportunities to go in places that the MCU has never gone before.
Exactly. I mean, and now we're also playing with time. Yep. Because the time group, I forgot the time group's name that's in this one.
It's Time Variance Authority, I think. The TVA. And he leaves with the Space Stone.
Exactly.
What happens to that Space Stone? We're going to have an Infinity Gem in that series, at least at the very beginning.
Yeah. I mean, and to me at that time, when you play with time, that means the stones can be in. Any of the stones can show up at any time.
Thanos going to show up.
Exactly, because
there's so many things.
That's why I like where we're going, because like we have Wanda who's broken, we have a multitude of madness with Doctor Strange, and now we have Loki playing around with time. So you got someone playing with multiple universes possibly, and someone playing with time, and
a Thanos who is going to be pissed off that Loki lost the Mind Stone and absconded with the Space Stone.
So what's going on? Like, and that's right. Like, depending what time frame we take, is he in that time, or did he jump ahead a few years? So now there is no worry of that, because now he's 6 years later, 7 years later, after everything's happened.
Yeah.
But when you wibbly wobbly timey-wimey, it's like, who knows where we're going to be at any time, any place. No idea.
Yeah, I mean, this is a splinter timeline. This is something that didn't exist before, and now it does.
And then I think, to comment on the trailer, the part where it's like a bunch of Vikings around him and he's in like a suit. And it's like, why do you have a bunch of Viking-looking people?
Yeah. And I mean,
I don't know.
And again, playing with time, like DB Cooper, which was like back in the 70s.
Yes, that was a cool scene.
And he does call out to Heimdall in that moment. So I was like, is Idris Elba going to show up in this?
Oh yeah, that's
right.
I
mean, there's so many. Like,
we can go anywhere with this. Yeah. I think this.
Cool.
I mean, as much as I'm excited for WandaVision, I think I'm just a little bit more excited for Loki.
Yeah, maybe,
because I just love Tom Hiddleston. Yeah. I think he's an amazing actor.
Could be great.
And I love where we could go with time.
Yep.
So
I think that's all the Marvel stuff for now. Switch over to some DC.
DC. I'm gonna start with the sad one, the Green Arrow.
Okay.
Real quick. So there was talks during this whole pandemic, during this whole lockdown. Green Arrow, the TV show from CW, might come back.
Yep.
And there's always been talks for a while now about a Canaries spinoff that they were going to do. The Canaries, because we've had the White Canary, the Black Canary. We've had the daughter of, was it her daughter? No, it was the aunt, or it was a sister or somebody. It was a bunch of, there was at one point like 3 or 4 Canaries up there. Because you had the Laurel and you had Sarah Lance.
Yeah.
You had the other girl, I can't remember her name off the top of my head. So you had 3, and then they were kind of like bringing in Green Arrow's daughter as like an honorary one, even though she doesn't have the power, but she's the Green Arrow essentially. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So they were talking about these spinoffs with all these women for the Canaries, and Stephen Amell commented to CW, the producer, I think it was like, hey, if you guys need help, I'm in Canada, I can film, because they film in Vancouver.
Sure, yeah.
So he was like, I'll come back and bring the Green Arrow, just figure out how to bring me back, and I will come back and step into those shoes again.
Yep.
But nothing's moving forward. Apparently, there's going to be no spinoff for the Canaries, so that show's dead in the water. The Green Arrow to me was a stretch, because I mean they wrote him off pretty well. I think, like, okay, you're done, your storyline's done, you're dead. It would be a stretch to bring him back, I think. I mean, you would really have to use a lot of like the times with the Legends of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Constantine probably with black magic essentially.
Well, and you don't want to. I mean, what was that, like 9 seasons of a show, like
something like that, like
with
8 or
a
9.
Pretty good send off. Like you don't want to necessarily come back and maybe you ruin it, and like. So I get the impulse, and I get the do we want to try and resurrect this and give people more of maybe what they want? But I think there's also a hey, this had a really good run. Mm-hmm. People are satisfied with the ending. Let's just leave it.
Exactly, and I think that's where it needs to stay. Like the first 5 seasons to me are amazing. I really love the first 5. The next, like I said, I think it's like 3 or 4. They were really because even Stephen Amell, when the show was first coming around, they said they had a 5-year goal.
Yeah,
and they didn't expect it to ever last more than 5 years.
I mean, the fact which most shows don't even last more than 1 year. I mean,
exactly.
Like, most shows, don't end up being 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 year successes. So the fact that they had a show that did that, kudos, a good run. Kudos to that.
Yeah. And they had that 5-year plan. And they even said after that, they didn't think they were going to keep going, but they kept getting renewed for another season. So, I can kind of see why the writing kind of started stumbling, because they're like, well, we didn't have a plan after 5 years. This was the 5-year plan. So I think cutting them off now, leaving them to die, being as a Spectre and basically sacrificing himself to save the entire multiverse, that was perfect. Bring him back if you want in a random show where it's like, oh, we visit an older time where he is still alive. I can maybe live with that. Like, we're not going to tell you what happens. We're not going to do anything, but we need you real quick to do some timey-wimey stuff. But I'm happy that it's not coming forward. I love Stephen Amell. I love his cousin, Robbie Amell. I think they're both great actors.
Yeah.
But I'm glad they didn't bring that one off. The Canaries, I don't know. I never had a great connection with Laurel or Sarah. I don't really care for those characters.
Sure.
I liked Green Arrow's daughter. I thought she was really good. I loved it. Every time we touched with her, I loved it. I think she's a good actress. I forgot her name. And then, like I said, there was another girl who also had the canary powers, that banshee-like scream where they scream and they're able to like bust eardrums, break walls, all that good stuff. Sure. I can't remember her name, but she was okay. She was basically, at the end of it, she was a detective who was helping out law enforcement and was using her powers for good. Even though she had like this rocky, like history background kind of stuff. But I just don't know if I want to see a Canaries TV show.
Yeah, and I think that, the CW seems to kind of be turning the page. There was a lot of those, the Arrowverse, whether it be Green Arrow or Black Lightning kind of played into that, and that's ending. I think the Flash is probably winding down, although they haven't officially made anything about that.
They're probably got like maybe 2. I bet you he has 2 seasons left this year, next
Legends
year.
of Tomorrow, I think, is still running.
It is still running. I honestly fell off that one a little bit.
Yeah.
But that one.
But, we're getting a new, Superman and Lois show, and that seems to kind of be going in a different direction. Supergirl ended. We are getting Batgirl, but it's a different. It's a different Bat, or is it Batwoman?
Batwoman.
Okay. And we're getting a different kind of.
Which I need to
play that.
Rewatch season 1 to figure out how they're going to even do that.
Yeah, I think that they'll probably just, hey, I'm taking up the mantle kind of thing.
Yeah, and that's the other thing is that.
Sorry. I didn't get to the mute button.
Nope.
I was like, nope.
Not making it, guys. And that's another thing, like you said, they're all going a different direction. They were wanting, I forgot the original actress's name, but they wanted her to kind of take
Ruby Rose.
I don't like her. They wanted her to kind of take the cornerstone of Green Arrow, that broody, dark character, and they wanted to put her there. They were wanting, from what it sounded like, they wanted to replace Flash more with Supergirl and have her as that cornerstone. Yeah. And then we have like our almost a Batman Superman kind of thing. But when Arrow left, it's like, well, okay, she's replacing it. And then Ruby's like, I'm out. Well, that's kind of getting replaced now.
Yep.
Flash is still going. They're not canceling it yet. So you can't have Supergirl step in. But then Supergirl's like, I'm out. The actress is quitting. So that show's done. So it's like, yeah, you kind of have to revamp using what you have left, which is DC Legends, Flash, Black Lightning's already done.
Yep. We are getting, like I said, we're getting a Superman
You're getting
show.
the Superman show. So now that's going to take that cornerstone of Supergirl probably.
Yeah.
But you don't have a brooding character unless you start bringing in more of the Legends, where you have Constantine, who is a brooding character.
Yep.
But they're doing their own thing. And that show, the reason I started like falling out from it, which I need to get back into, is because they kept shortening the season. It went from a full, was it like 26 episodes a season or something like that.
Yeah, usually like 22 to 24.
And then they chopped it in half to like 10. And their thing was like, oh, because it's so CGI intent or heavy, which yeah, it is. But I mean, Doctor Who runs like 15 episodes or so, and they use a lot of costumes and CGI. So
yeah, but they also get away with being a little bit hokey.
Yeah, it's true too. That is true, which you can't. They do a little bit in Legends, but nowhere near as much as Doctor Who. You're right. I'll give you that. So I don't know. I mean, that's kind of why I fell out. But I love Constantine, so I always try to come back and watch it when I can because I'm a huge Constantine buff.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see where it goes. Maybe down the road they'll revisit the Canaries, because they did have an episode in technically Arrow in season 8 titled Arrow and the Canaries, which was supposed to be following the Canaries.
Sure.
And that was kind of like the unofficial pilot, I guess, to see how it would do. And maybe it just didn't do well.
Yeah,
and
I don't know.
So we'll see on that one, I guess. But they're gone. Not happening. Sorry, Steven. Go
Not
do other
now.
stuff with your cousin.
And I think our final news story that we're going to talk about here is the ongoing saga that is Ray Fisher versus DC. So
Are we in the original trilogy, or are we in the sequels now?
Yeah, I think we're firmly in the sequels. So Ray Fisher, who is the actor that played Cyborg, who had come out with some pretty serious accusations against Joss Whedon, who had come in to finish Justice League, and
wasn't Jeff Jones, right? Was the other one?
Jeff Johns, who was said to kind of enable that behavior, and I think there's been a lot of accusations, although not a whole lot of specifics. We know that there was accusations of unprofessional and abusive behavior, and even Gal Gadot had touched on it when she was doing some Wonder Woman 84 press, and talked about how she had kind of had her own little bit of run-in with Joss Whedon, but that they'd been able to, she was able to kind of resolve it, escalate it, resolve it, kind of thing. But it just seems like there's been a lot of smoke. We don't know what all the fire was. DC conducted an investigation, and they kind of completed that last month and came out with kind of a statement that, we're going to take some remediation, but they didn't specifically say what they were going to do or what that meant. Ray Fisher has kind of continued to say, I don't know that they're doing enough, and they haven't really made enough choices. And then there was a report that Ray Fisher was written out of the Flash movie that's coming up. We know that was kind of a dynamic that was established in Justice League, was that Cyborg and the Flash were kind of buddy a little bit. And so it was expected that Cyborg would be in the Flash movie. Then this report came out that he's no longer going to be in the Flash movie. And Ray Fisher kind of came out and said, nobody told me that. I haven't stepped away from the role. And so
we're still talking with them.
This, report is not true. And that kind of, and so there's just been, again, just more and more. And it just feels like that relationship feels like it's beyond repair, and that
really does.
I don't think that Ray Fisher is going to come back, but I don't know at this point. I really don't know what's going on.
So he went on a 5-post rant on Twitter about it, which is 148 characters, I believe, or 128 for Twitter. So about 500 words or so, 600 words.
I don't know.
But he's saying that he wasn't, like you said, he was not told anything. He's mad about the investigation still, which he's complained about that since they finished.
I think he feels like, that maybe they didn't do all their due diligence, and they also don't seem to be taking forceful enough actions. The president of DC, Walter Hamada, just got an extension. They're still working with someone like Jeff Johns, who, again, he felt was someone that maybe they shouldn't be working with. Yeah. So, and we weren't there. No. We don't know. We're not trying to pick sides. No, but it seems like there's a lot of issues going on. And, I don't know. We're going to get Cyborg in the new Justice League, Snyder Cut.
Now, he didn't come for reshoots, did he?
No, I don't think so. But there was a lot that they had shot before that ended up on the cutting room floor. So apparently they are going to just put that back in and flesh a lot of that out.
See, that's where I get confused with Warner Brothers, because if this is successful or whatever they're hoping, I don't know what they're hoping to get out of this Snyder cut. I mean, we've talked about how much we both don't care for this. If you're going to bring him out that much in that, why not? Why are you going to not even recast him? Why write him off? I don't understand.
I don't know.
And that's where I'm confused, and he even says in one of his tweets is that, Warner Brothers has been parting ways with Joss Whedon, and he even targets Jeff Jones next. And he says he'll follow suit. So, I mean, you can't, that's the other thing. Like I get what you're trying to do, man. Like you want to fight for justice and what you believe in. And if you were wrong, you want to fight for that and get that fixed. But if they've already done their investigation and you can't keep firing shots and hope that you still have a job. I don't know how that works. I don't care either way. I think Ray Fisher did a great job as Cyborg.
I did too.
I've got
was
to
one
meet
of my
him.
favorite parts of that movie.
Yeah. And I've got to meet him in real life and, had a small little conversation with him. Nice guy. Seems like a great guy. So I'm like, dude, I'm rooting for you to be Cyborg still. Like, I want you to keep playing this character. I want to see you in other movies, and I want to see you in the Flash movie, or even just come out in the TV show or something. And I would be happy to see him somewhere else with it.
Sure.
But I don't know how Warner Brothers is going to take when somebody keeps going after. It's like, hey, we did the investigation. We're not going to be with Joss Whedon, which was your big one. But you got to keep stopping on Jeff Jones. But he's saying that they're trying to protect Jeff Jones, and he's like, no, I don't. I was my other problem. I don't know. Like you said, no one else was there. And I just hit myself with the mic. No one else was there. So I don't.
Yeah, I mean, and Ray Fisher's been backed up by Jason Momoa, who obviously plays Aquaman. Gal Gadot obviously revealed that she wasn't aware of his situation, but she was, she had her own.
Yeah.
So it does seem like there were things that
something
happened
was going
on the set.
Yeah.
And people weren't necessarily happy with Joss Whedon. Reports were that he was kind of trashing Zack Snyder and what he had previously done when he came on board. And so there's a lot of smoke around Joss Whedon. You assume there's probably some fire there if there's a lot of smoke, but we don't know all the specifics. And Ray Fisher hasn't come out and said specifically what was, abusive or unprofessional.
What did you say or do? Yeah.
Which, on the one hand, like maybe he's trying, to respect the process, but on the other hand, if you're trying to respect the process, you're probably not going to be as vocal as he's been. So I think
I don't know. Yeah.
Nobody really looks good in this. Joss Whedon doesn't look good. Warner Brothers doesn't look good. Ray Fisher doesn't look real good.
No one does.
And so there's a lot of things going on.
What is the old saying? When you go slinging mud, expect to come out dirty, kind of thing. And that's kind of what's happening. And I hope he doesn't lose Cyborg. I hope he does come back. I hope Warner Brothers isn't just trying to write this off as, Cyborg was never in the movies. Yeah. No, please just, if you really don't want Ray Fisher, recast him. I'm okay with that. Ray Fisher's career will bounce back. He'll come back around eventually.
Maybe. I mean, this was his big break.
It was.
And he spent all of the last year trashing DC.
And that's true.
Other studios might not be so keen to work with him.
I mean, Mel Brooks is coming back slowly. Or Big Gibson,
whatever. Mel Gibson?
Whatever his name is. Brooks, I love you, Brooks. The other Mel that I don't like. He's slowly coming back. I mean, you're right. I mean, who knows? But
that's a weird comparison because Mel Gibson did the bad things. Ray Fisher's calling out other people for doing bad things.
Yeah, that's true. But he's coming back. He's somehow, I don't like him, but anyway. Yeah. So my point thing is though, Ray Fisher, I think he's good, and hopefully he can bounce back.
I hope
hopefully
so too.
Warner Brothers, bounces back. Hopefully everyone bounces back or learns something from this. If it's,
hopefully DC learns how to make better movies.
Oh, they'll never learn. That's just never going to happen. They're doing the Snyder Cut. They're never going to learn now.
One step forward, 8 steps back.
Exactly. That they took the one step forward. Hopefully James Gunn can help them with Suicide Squad.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
That's like all they got right now going
the
for
Batman. The Pattinson Batman.
The Sparkle Batman, that's right.
I'm looking forward to that. I mean, Matt Reeves is doing that. And he did he's done Planet of the Apes movies that were really good.
See, and I love Planet of the Apes. That's the only thing that has me going for that.
So, I mean.
My favorite series.
And that trailer that we got, and we're still not seeing that movie for like a full another year and a half.
If we're lucky.
Yeah, so. I mean, I'm looking forward to the Batman, but it's going to be forever. But
yeah.
DC is so hit and miss with their movies, and it's just been, I mean,
just go watch the animated stuff.
Check out our review of Wonder Woman 84 if you want to know how we feel about their most recent project.
Yeah, go check that out, please. Please go check that one out. Yeah. So I think that's it for the news for us guys, though. Yep. Kind of covers a lot of the major topics. Again, if you are listening to this on our podcast, which can be listened to anywhere, Spotify, Apple, iTunes, anywhere you listen to podcasts, we're available. Yep. So if you're listening to us there, thank you. Go check out our YouTube channel, youtube.com/official GYGO for all of the little shows that we're putting out throughout the week from this, starting from now, essentially. We're going to try this out, see what people think, and let us know what you think.
New year, new geeks.
Exactly. I was trying to go forward still, and I couldn't.
Yep.
I hate you.
I'm just here to derail you.
And he does. He does this all the time. So thank you for listening, guys. We really appreciate everything. Go check out that. There'll be some other stuff down the pipeline, so go check out Eric. Keep tuned. Make sure you're subscribed to us on YouTube or your podcast, movie reviews, show reviews.
We've got Mandalorian season 2 reviews up there. Yes. WandaVision, when that comes out, we are going to be reviewing that.
Soul is already out by now.
Yep. Soul reviews. I mean, we love talking reviews and stuff. We do our news show. We do different segments where we talk about controversial stuff, where we blend the worlds of Harry Potter and comic books.
That was fun.
We're trying to put out as much geeky content for you as we can and have some interesting conversations, but we always want to hear your feedback. So let us know, down in the comments what you like, what you don't like, what we should focus more energy on, because we want to, continue having fun, and we have fun with the stuff we do. We want to make sure you're having fun too. And, like, comment, always subscribe, as Aaron said, to our YouTube channel, Official GYGO.
Yes, or facebook.com/official GYGO. If you want to just see random memes and some news topics throughout the week,
we have
check those out there. On that note, guys, everybody, get your geek on and stay geeky.
Bye.